Oh yeah, brother Iyad is one.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Well, I'm not sure about the shopping part, but anyways, subhanAllah, I just wanted to share with you a few thoughts that I have. If the brothers over there can pay some respect, can the cookies wait? That would be awesome, actually. We're going to have the entertainment, we're going to have the cookies then, if that's going to cause any. I just came actually a few hours ago from a camp that was happening in Maryland. And before that, I was in another camp that was happening in Texas. And there was another camp that I wanted to get to, but I couldn't because I was busy visiting the other two camps. Well, there's one camp that is happening here. So, 4 camps happening at the same time. One of them was in Hunt, Texas, about 92 kids, not youth, I should say. Well, this one has 115. The one in DC had about 55 campers, and then the one in Chicago had about 75 campers. Now, the reason why this is impressive is because all of these events collectively, all of them, were organized by youth your age. I remember last year during a camp similar to this past camp, 4 youth sat down together and they decided that, the Midwest deserves to have more Mina experience available for more Midwest Muslim youth. These 4 youth that were Fatima, Tasneem, Halima, and who I'm missing? There were 3 actually, not 4. Yeah, so there was the 3 of them. They sat down and they thought, how can we have more youth enjoy the Mina experience that we are enjoying? They said, well, the best thing is to have more camps that will be more accessible. And they sat down and they made that decision. Fast forward 3 months, 4 months down the road, and these 3 camps took place. And now next year, inshallah, this coming year, that actually it's this year, we're going to have another 3 spring break camps in the Midwest alone. Now the youth that organized the DC camp wants to have other camps as well, and same thing with Chicago, and same thing with last year, in 2010 actually, and the year before last year, Mina had 5 camps. 2011, Mina had 10 camps. This is the 10th one, this is the last one this year. But why am I saying this? The reason why I'm saying this is that you do need to believe in yourself. You do need to believe in yourself. I'm not sure if Abed was serious or not when he said what he said. It's very difficult to figure out when he's serious and when he's not, as you well know. But in the depth of each one of their hearts, including his, that is a factual statement. I was doing a presentation at at Adams Center, and one of the youth said, I am not a leader. Why are you telling me that that I'm a leader? I said, you know what? You are absolutely correct. You are not a leader. You know why? Because that's what you believe. If you're going to believe that you're a minor, then that's what you will be. You will be a minor. If you're going to be someone, if you're going to believe that you are someone that can shake the earth, that can shake the injustice in this earth, because we don't shake earth just for the sake of shaking it. We shake the earth so that the dirt will fall, and only what benefits the people would stay. We shake the earth so that those who are oppressing people would be removed, and only those who genuinely care for the well-being of others would remain. We shake the earth with our will because we can and because we should when needed. You can ask Hosni Mubarak, the tyrant of Egypt, who's now in jail, what youth your age can do. You can ask Gaddafi. Too late now, you can't ask him actually. You can ask Zain al-Abidin. He's still in jail. No, not in jail, but he's wherever he is. And soon, inshallah, you'll be able to ask Bashar al-Assad and Ali Abdullah Saleh. It was youth that were writing graffiti on the walls of a school in a city of Daraa that shook the throne of a tyrant that terrified a generation for decades. It was someone who was selling fruits. Iyad man was selling fruits on one of the streets of a small, tiny village in Tunisia. It was a group of Facebook youth that changed history. That changed history. Brothers and sisters, if we have youth that are willing to go in the streets, knowing very well that that walk might be the very last one they might take, knowing very well that there are snipers aiming their guns at them, and willing to pay that price for freedom, for their values and principles. What is our sacrifice that we are going to offer to our community, to our humanity, for the sake of our principles and values that we have always heard about? Principles and values such as justice for all, not for those who can afford to hire lawyers. Food for all, not only for those who can afford it, and so on. So here's what I'm saying to you. Here's what I'm telling you. Here's my conclusion out of visiting all these camps and meeting all these amazing youth and working with some of the most amazing youth that this country has. That's you. You do need to understand that you are America's greatest asset. This is not a statement of arrogance. This is a statement of hope. You do need to understand that you are the ones that will bear the torch of the principles and values on which this country was founded. The principles and values for which Martin Luther King died, for which Malcolm X died. You do need to realize that you are the dream that Martin Luther King had. You do need to realize that you are the beloved ones of the Prophet ﷺ, who when he was surrounded with people like Umar ibn Khattab and Abu Bakr and Uthman, he told them, I miss my beloved ones. And each one was looking at each other, saying, Ya Rasulullah, aren't we yours? He said, no, you are my companions. My beloved ones are people that have yet to come. They believed in me despite the fact that they have not seen me. He's talking about you and me. You do need to realize that. And when you have this realization, you do need to turn off your Xbox for some time. You do need to turn off the TV for some time. You do need to stop your activities on Facebook for some time. And think of something that is useful. Something that is beneficial. Your Xbox games, even if you score, even if you kill all the evils and devils of whatever games you play, even if you defeat the machine and you make it become the virtual superhero, that is not going to feed one person. That is not going to put a roof over one person. But maybe if you pick up the phone and you start talking to your friends, what can we do to put that shelter, to put that roof over someone's head? What can we do so that we can be the shoulder that a youth can lean on so that he doesn't become a victim of crime and drugs? Then maybe that would be a meaningful contribution. And maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment will gather you right next to those who wrote graffiti on the walls of a school in the middle of nowhere while shaking the throne of a tyrant and making the world a much more beautiful place at a very young age. So my point and my advice that I would like to leave you with, and I know that we're going to have entertainment and probably you're going to forget most of what I'm going to say, but try to keep these words inside your heart. Try to keep them. We are not minors. We are the movers and shakers of this earth. We are the movers and shakers of this earth. We are the ones that inherited the light of the Prophet ﷺ. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is real stuff. Don't underestimate yourself. And brothers and sisters, I guarantee you, that just like, three sisters decided that, they wanted to have 3 camps and they just put their heads together and figure it out. And now they're moving to something higher and bigger, even though they may not be having titles. They will always be connected with Mina, they'll always be doing great work. Just like they started something out of nothing, you can do that as well. So that inshallah, these camps would reach every single Muslim youth in North America. I would not be surprised if 2014 starts and someone will be saying, will be having a presentation here to you, saying, you know what, I just visited 8 camps and I still had 10 more to visit, I didn't have time for it. Wallahi, if you were to ask me, is it possible do you envision Mina having 4 camps at once? I would say it's impossible. If you asked me this question last year. But you know what? I don't think there's anything impossible when you have the heart of a youth, and when you have the energy of a youth, and when you have the determination that the youth can have. So, you know, just have focus, have faith in yourself, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you what you were meant to be. The inheritance of this earth and the bearer of the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, jazakumullah khair.
تكبير الله أكبر. الله أكبر.